Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. We're just on with Jonathan today. Tim is doing something different, not sure what. But we've got a bit of action, some live action fights coming to you live and direct in Africa. It's a couple, three I think actually, and we'll see what's happening in Mongolia. Tim gave us a short update. He said he's building ships and taking a city in Mongolia and fighting the good fight on the front line there with Jonathan. So that's all going really well. It looks like it's going very well anyway. How you find... Ooh! Aha! You're going after his home cities. Oh, you've got one!
Yeah.
Nice. Do tell.
Yeah, I've only just seen this. I pathed some of my troops just to go and take his home city. Last night, my special forces got a lot of action. They're now up to 12 kills. Unfortunately, a few of them bit the dust. But he'd gathered a lot of his troops on Ulaanbaatar, including some helicopters, some tanks, and some basic troops, and some airborne. But we did just notice that he's made attack helicopters, which are primarily for use against tanks. So I just waited my troops in there, and I managed to take them on. Because whenever they landed, they'd be able to be destroyed by the special forces. So yeah, it was weak enough. So I just ploughed on in there, and now he's lost one of his home cities.
Very nice. I saw a bit of what was going on. It seemed like he was sending everything he could at you, but you've taken him down. A bit of a fail on the choice, I guess, of attack, because you don't have a huge number of tanks and stuff. It is the troops that you go for, isn't it? But then it's all your other support vehicles. So maybe he was trying to get some of your support vehicles, like your anti-air rocket launchers and all that stuff.
Perhaps. As an interesting choice, he also sent some more planes at me. And I still had my anti-air there, so I also shot down the stack. But I've had a fair few green notifications recently.
Cool. Oh, I can see the city Tim's taken. So he's got Almaty. And taking good ground there, moving slowly but surely. You're becoming unstoppable with your bag of tricks. It's, there's so much going on here. I can see you've got your strikes going into Jaipur, and that's got your fixed wing officer. Oh, and you've got some more strikes on the go. Just a full stack. Patrolling New Delhi. So you're creating, you're kind of clearing out the way to move in. With the rest of your stacks. So yeah, you got some anti-air there, and then a couple of infantry. Yeah, so you spread so thin with your infantry now, because you've got to keep them on all the cities you take. But all your support units are so good that they're still clearing the way. So even just one infantry can walk up and take a city. Oh, and this infantry officer. Anti-air, and then there's 4 motorised infantry, so you're cracking into Myanmar there. Tell us what's happening in that area.
So my second stack's a little bit far behind, but I'm just going to carve a straight line through Myanmar, probably head towards his capital. As you say, just need some more troops down in India to clear up some of these cities. I think Tim's just going to push a straight line through kind of some of Mongolia's remaining cities just south of me. Maybe he'll move through Myanmar and China as well, so I might as well just start cleaning up India now. Yeah. There's not really anything down here. I've got a feeling he's spent most of his forces on us. And still no sign of Philippines on the land.
Well, let's. I've got an interesting idea about Philippines, very interesting actually, but I'll go back to that in a minute, and we'll just cover some of the action that's going on in Africa, because there is all sorts going on. And I restarted the war in Africa. I kind of held, kind of paused it, held it off for a little while I joined in on the fun in Mongolia, so we could do a coalition strike. And that was a good idea, because we were going up against another coalition, and just needed to make sure that we had that initial push in. I've gone back into Africa and restarted the fronts, and I'm just starting to get the momentum going now, but I've faced quite a lot of opposition and lost the odd few things. Here I've just started I've got a rocket launcher that's got 2 health left out of 20, and it's just started to bombard this recon battalion. It's it's just a combat recon vehicle, and it's got 1.5 health left. So he's going to take him out in his next attack, I'd imagine, which is in 55 minutes. Got a strike fighter from Cameroon, 9.2 health, just patrolling over a city that I've taken where I've got a mechanised battalion, and they seem stuck on the same health. I'm not entirely convinced that dynamic is working, where the mechanised actually defend against the air, and the air are even doing the mechs any damage. So we'll have to sort that out. I'll get my strikes on it or something. My anti-air's over here, unfortunately. So it'd be nice to have the anti-air over there in Cameroon, but one front at a time.
Mine's a bit stranded at the minute. One of these provinces has been lost to like Mali or Nigeria or something. I diverted some of mine back just to heal after they got attacked.
Yeah.
Could try and move the strike over there. It's the anti-air over there. It's not a strike fighter though. It's just an air superiority, and for some reason he's set it to patrol. So it doesn't actually look like it's attacking anything at the minute.
Oh, I just presumed it was a strike fighter. Okay, air superiority. So I was sending my strikes against him, and okay, no wonder I lost one, even though it was a stack of 3. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, so no wonder they're not engaging each other. But equally, I don't get why. Oh, okay, because he's not attacking my mech. The mech's not defending. That makes sense, and maybe that's what's happened before. So, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, so I mean, I'm going to be pumping out a few more anti-air. I don't know if I'm making any at the moment. Yeah, I'm making an anti-air, so that'll be ready in 2 hours 40. Maybe just in time before I go to bed, I can send the anti-air down to that front line part. So that's cool. Got an anti-air in this zone, and I've got a fight going on now. Let's see what's happening. So I've got the anti-air over here. I've got with a stack of 3 mechs, and there's an unidentified armoured vehicle and infantry in this city that I'm going into, and I have my strikes coming in. The strikes are going to be there in about 16 minutes, I think. I've just set a patrol zone over there. That seems to be an efficient way of doing it. Is that what you'd do, or would you just keep striking from a city?
Where is this you're attacking?
So if we have a look in the kind of in the mid-south of Mali, kind of where it says Mali, if you zoomed out and zoom in, so that's on the west coast of Africa, northwest. There's a city called Bobo Dioulasso, and there's a the picture shows an anti-air, but I've got 3 mechs there as well, and there's the picture of a question mark and an unidentified armoured contact, and with my strikes going in, it's kind of near where your anti-air battalion is retreating back into a city, which is very wise.
They are very weak right now, your strikes. You're not worried about that?
No. No, it's fine. I just want to I want to give my mechs a bit more support, because I kind of went in there thinking it would be empty, but there is a unit there. I think I'm just going to have to pump out a load more strikes. I'll probably do 1 attack or 2 attacks and then take them away and let them heal in Warsaw or something and build up another stack. But I just want to maintain the momentum in Africa. So we're getting there. Nigeria's taken this region, and so there's 2 fronts. One into Cameroon. I hadn't intended to go into Cameroon, but it's just happened because it's all jungle. I'm weak in jungle. And then Mali's going down. I've got this front over here that I'm taking into Mali, and they're just going to land grab. And it's a big stack. Well, a short stack. We've got a rocket launcher, a mechanised, a combat recon, and a main battle tank. I think we're going to probably not going to come across a big stack, but you never know, because it does happen. But I did earlier take out like 3 armoured vehicles on the coast. I've got another attack here. I've got 2 corvettes taking on a ground radar contact, and they've been at that for hours and hours and hours. So I think they may have previously taken out a radar contact. But either way, I'm sending down the coast my big stack. So I've finally got a cruiser. The cruiser has an attack range of 100, so I can get quite far inland if I need to, and just hammer some more troops. So this troop here, I'm going to go for with my my cruiser. I think he was too far away from the corvettes, or they were struggling to get him, or something. I don't know. There was some weirdness going on. Then I can bring them further down the coast into down the side of Cameroon and just chip away at them a bit more. So I've had some really useful coastal defence help, and then there's another one around here to talk about in this area. So I love it that you're sending your frigate out to sort of around Saudi Arabia, South Iran, through past Oman to defend that little bit of coast. So you're going through the Suez Canal. So I'm just waiting for another mobile SAM launcher and a theatre to defence system to join my big stack, where I've already got 2 main battle tanks, a mobile SAM, a mech, and 4 multiple rocket launchers. I'm just going to see how big the stack can get before it gets overbalanced, and then I'm probably going to slowly move it down after I'm going to wait and see what you come across. And if you don't get any resistance whatsoever and any contacts, then I'm going to ham it down the coast to Ethiopia and go into Hargeisa and park my big stack there, securing the entrance to the Suez Canal, and I'll bring my big stack of boats that finally has a cruiser. So I've got a cruiser on each of my big stacks, 2 big stacks of boats, and just trying to upgrade the cruiser when I can. So it's coming together, and I'm chipping away at Africa now, and the momentum is just going to build because I've got loads more units being built. And is that a main battle tank? Oh, okay. I've just built a main battle tank, so that's going to go in on the action. And actually, there's other reinforcements arriving that I haven't quite touched on. We'll just move them down into here. I can always change his pathway when it gets further on. So I've got 3 main battle tanks coming into where you're retreating your anti-air to. So my 3 battle tanks have come from the Mongolian front, and they're just going past Al Jorf, which is in the middle of sort of between Libya and Egypt. And then I've got more tanks and stuff coming in. I think I'm reinforcing myself from Warsaw. So we have a look at Warsaw. I had a load of stuff there. Yeah, and it's not there anymore, but my my really severely injured mech with now 2.3 health, but it was 0.4. He's made it back to Warsaw. Getting your medical help, Jonathan. And then if we have a look at what I'm building, and I mean your level 5 hospital in Warsaw has been amazing. I've rehabilitated so many troops. How have you done really with yours?
I've been sending a load of troops there, and then you kind of forget about them for a bit, and then they're on full health again. So I've been doing that in all my games now, just trying to focus on having 1 hospital with an airbase. Yeah.
Perfect idea. Oh, let me tell you about my idea with the Philippines then. So when we get through, so if you go along to find where Singapore is, where is it Myanmar? Where Myanmar sort of joins the Philippines territory. Yeah. So the nearest, so it goes from the Myanmar territory of Mai Ik down to Surat Thani, which is entering into the Philippines territory, and then that's the island that leads to Singapore. Now, say for example we go down there and take that island, we're going to be a bit worried about moving troops across the water. So I think it's definitely a good idea, obviously, to have full naval support, because we're just going to be in the thick of it when we hit them, but also having rocket launchers there, a big stack of rocket launchers to help pummel the sea and help troops then pass from, say for example we have a big stack of rocket launchers on Singapore. Then we can ferry troops from Kuala Lumpur over that little tiny stretch onto that next island and take that next island. And what we might be able to do is the same with South Korea going over to Japan. So I think rocket launchers will be quite critical in helping get into the Philippines and just taking out some of their peripheral islands and bunny hopping onto different islands, not only with sea defense but also land defense that can strike at their sea defense.
Absolutely. If you can park some of your tanks like on the coast to draw his fire, then by the time I get over there, I should have quite a few rocket launchers as well, even if you've got yours in Africa. And mine are like the second highest level now, and this big stack that I'm going to try and get through to the front line has got 5 rocket launchers on it. And I'm sending a couple to Mongolia now, and I've got a couple more building. And I'll have plenty of anti-air and some radars too. And I'll just move all of that to the coast, and yeah, we can island hop. And it's interesting you should say that, because it's something I've always done when I've invaded Sweden, because you can sit like a rocket launcher on Copenhagen and fire into Malmo. So there may be like other opportunities to do that on the coast.
Very nice. Yeah, that sounds perfect. Yeah, there's going to be some sweet spots where, kind of like Cairo, where there's going to be some cities that are just a little bit away from the coast, but in key areas. Can't quite think of any yet. There's this one here. I'm just highlighting the odd city that might help us. But yeah, we'll have a think. This one, Palembang, it's quite far away. That would be a good defensive area where it would cover quite a lot of the sea, because he'll be looking to move ships around, and if we can cover routes where, you know, he's trying to get reinforcements to places, then that'll be good as well. It's going to be a hell of a battle. I'm looking forward to the Battle of the Philippines. Definitely going to get involved. And once you get your rocket launchers and tank, I'll make sure I upgrade my tanks, my main battle tanks, so that I can just fly them in. So I can do that already with mechs and rocket launchers. So it'll be nice to get to a place where I've got Africa consolidated, or at least into one small front line, so I can just move 1 or 2 big stacks forward, and then I can start to donate toward the Philippines cause, because you'll be there. I don't know when you'll be there. Probably sooner than we think, but longer than you might imagine.
You could take a week, I reckon.
Yeah. We're taking victory points now quickly again, so we're on 2,889 out of 4,200 now that we're all land grabbing. And once the momentum builds here in Africa, there'll be no stopping us. Getting some notifications. Okay, so the Corvette has... Okay, we've got another infantry contact in the coast off Nigeria. The Corvettes have found. So they're actually attacking that infantry contact, which is great. So they're chipping away. They've taken out probably 2 contacts on their third now. And once they get the cruiser coming down, they'll be able to hopefully mop up a few more, and they may see some along the coast of Mali as they go down. So we'll see how that goes. How far out are these guys from? 19 minutes away from that Bobo city. And what's this notification? Conquered. Oh, okay. I've taken 1 territory while we've been live and direct from Cameroon. So we're getting in there. And
I'm sending over 4 strike fighters to help in Africa.
Oh, great, thanks. Yeah, I could do with a little bit of
I've just got to remember to actually check in on them.
I've got a couple of good frontline airports. So there's one in Bria, which is kind of just north of the Democratic Republic of Congo, and then I've got one. It's the one where your anti-air is going back to. That's got an airport as well. So I just find it so useful to build an airport on the front line, and then you can just fly in your reinforcements.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, now I'll just show you what I'm actually building, because I didn't quite touch on it in enough detail, and then we'll have a look at what you're building. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 level 3 recruiting offices. I've got a strike fighter, mechanized, cruiser, multiple rocket launcher, mobile SAM, multiple rocket launcher. So I'm going to be able to pump stuff out quicker and quicker, but I am noticing that things are taking up more maintenance as well. So I'm back down to 485 components an hour, 504 supplies. So I need to try and balance this with building more arms industries and building up these local industries as well. But I do ultimately want to build a big stack of cruisers so that I can take them into the Philippines. So I'm kind of, just building everything up now quite nicely. And as the army's getting bigger, which it is, it's costing more to maintain. How do we see... Where was the area where you could find out, that overview of all your stuff that you told us about, where you can click on... Is it the eye? Oh no.
Yeah, you could go to the diplomacy, and then you'll be at the top, and you can click on the info.
Okay, so let's have France. Okay, so this is the overview. I've got 68 units, which is up from, I think I might have had low 60s last time. So it's building. I know you've got 90 odd or something, haven't you?
I've got 106 units right now.
Wow. Okay, so your maintenance costs must be huge. Are you constantly building arms industries and local industries, or what's your supplies plan?
Not constantly. I've been gradually building a bit of it up and trying to stick down some bunkers as well, just to help with morale, which will in turn help with resource generation. And then I think at some point I will need to start slowing down on the troops I've been making. Around this point in the game, I'd usually start to struggle more on things like electronics and even fuel. That's usually because I'm making more ships. I've made a bunch of frigates, and that has made a dent on especially my components that I've had free for other units. But I'm doing okay for the minute. Somebody did actually mention that oh, how have you got so much fuel? And I think it's just because of the units I've been making. I have been upgrading the arms industries, but without all those tanks and ships, I've been able to just focus more on support and infantry and planes. And also I've also had a lot of planes die, so I've never really had more than 20 strikes at a time, but I've still been able to just constantly refill them. But resources are looking okay, but I will just have to be careful going forward that I don't overstretch my resources.
Yeah, it gets to a point in the game where you tip the balance and then you start to struggle. So being an experienced player, you'll know that point. I must say I went through a huge drive in building additional arms industries and local industries, and so I think I got myself up to a good level, but I'm going to have to keep chipping away at that and investing. But I'm at a decent level, around the 500 mark for both, in the positives, so that's good. What sort of stuff are you building at the moment? Let's take a look at your home cities.
Yeah, so on a bunch of cities, I've kind of diversified them out. For the special forces, you need a level 2 air base and a level 3 army base. So on those, it also means I can choose between building strike fighters there, anti-air, or special forces. So I've been alternating between those. I for some reason, for a while, I thought I needed a level 5 army base for the rocket launchers, but it's only a level 4. So now I've got 2 that are nearly on level 5, but I'm able to build rocket launchers on there. Making the odd mobile anti-air, and I've got a bunch of open slots. I could be making more basic infantry, but I don't really think I need to right now. And hopefully that should be enough. Back up to having around 14, 15 strikes, so that's why I'm able to send some over to Africa and just keep the other 2 stacks hovering around India for now. But generally, I think my rocket launchers can take over on hitting some of the ground units along with my special forces, so maybe less reliant on planes now.
Yeah, I mean, you used them a hell of a lot early game, but now you've got the ground units just taking over, and maybe relying on the rocket launchers a bit more for that sort of distance attack.
But I'll still keep them around because they're just in a pinch they can do so much.
Yeah. Okay. So like you said, with the strikes, that I've got on low energy. Yeah, I've lost one, which was expected. So I'm going to ferry them back and let them. I'll send another one over when I've built them, and then just see what my mechs do with that anti-air on these units. They should be all right. They're pretty highly powered up mechs. They're 9 against armoured vehicles, 8 against troops. They'll have a defence bonus though, so it might be a bit tight. So we'll see what happens in that fight. But I've got a load of tanks coming in over here, 3 big main battle tanks, and all sorts of reinforcements going in there. If you have a look at the long green lines, I'm just showing everyone these islands that I took in Sweden. I've just realised there is a component province that I haven't built up to level 3 yet, so I'll do that, and then I'm going back through my from the homeland out, building up the supplies provinces to level 3 local industries. And the closer to home you focus and then you go out, the more supplies you'll get per hour, because they've got more motivation, morale, and the higher morale there is in a province, the more stuff they produce, which I think you just touched on there. So yeah. Morale's important.
And also, it's made a really big difference having my capital city in Baghdad.
Oh,
it's already noticeable.
Wonder if I should move mine.
Where would be best to move yours? If you just kind of like broadly look at your map and then like centrally maybe Al Jawf or somewhere in Libya. I think like Al Jawf would be a safe bet because we control all of the Mediterranean, and there's like a fair few countries around it. If Brazil or Indonesia started pushing back in, Philippines, sorry, and it would mean you could like take the rest of Africa a bit quicker.
Yeah. So I have to annex the city and then move the.
And then move the headquarters there. Yeah.
Give me more petrol. Okay, we'll have to have a think about that one. Yeah, it'll be good to take these cities a bit quicker. Certainly a lot of land grabbing as well. Most of Mali is just land. So, okay, we'll see. I'm going to have to build a load of mechs. Yeah. Okay, well, getting the momentum back anyway in Africa. Look at all these long green lines, flying in troops. There's a mech going in there that I didn't talk about. Where are these guys at? What's going on? Tank there, new tank we talked about. Just having a look at all the travel lines going through the map, and actually noticeably you've got a few. It's all pointed into one direction, which is the Olgi. So you're going for that big time, his homeland cities. He's finished once you get another homeland city or two, because that's where you can make your difference, where you can build all your units and pump them out to the front lines. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, did Olgi already have an air base, or
it did, which is really good news. And now I can fly in my rocket launchers as well as in my anti-air. I think I can pretty much fly in everything. Not sure about my radar. Yeah, I can fly in my radar too. So yeah,
wow,
that's great.
That's a pretty mobile attack force. And I can see Tim up here in the north, in Russia, land grabbing, and he's very successful. Oh, he's being quiet about this. He's got quite a leveled up motorized infantry. How's he managed that?
Oh yeah, he's doing pretty well. Is it
Cool.
a level 6 where you get the increased attack range too? It is, yeah. It looks like
level
he's been in
6.
some sort of battle with Russia.
Attack
Because I
range
think
20.
he did have a couple motorized there.
Yeah.
So he may lose that before he gets to his final destination. If Russia's got any more troops hanging about.
What are your troops on? Are they? Oh, so they're just one level away from getting that remote attack. 20.
Yeah.
So they still have
Probably
to get.
go for that.
Yeah, that'll give you a good advantage.
Yeah.
Depends what else you've got on the go.
I reckon it's worth investing in that. Like, I think I just want to throw a bunch of these troops at him. Like, use what I've got already. Um, Especially on like my primary stack that I'll be sending forward.
Yeah. I've got a spare research slot. I'm just about to finish doing an engine upgrade for something or other. Naval infantry. Oh, let's see where they are then. And then we can have a think about signing off. So, where's the mission? The moonshot mission. Here we go. So they're nearly past Russia. And I've changed their course. They're going down into Fiji, as advised by the Chief Coalition Military Advisor, Jonathan.
That's me.
So, yeah, we'll see how they get on. I don't know if the Philippines will even notice. My colour's blue, so it's not an obvious standout colour, and they might not even be looking back there or care. I have to see what they make of it. I had a previous failed attempt in the Kerguelen Islands. So they're going in a bit stronger. Maybe do one more upgrade. But any last thoughts, Jonathan?
No, just it's quite difficult to find some of my troops at the minute. So yeah, I want to consolidate them a bit more, but it might be a bit easier once the cities are a bit less densely populated, moving through China. But for now, it just looks like a bit of a mess.
Yeah, lots going on. I'm sure you'll consolidate them fine, and I'll peel off my troops as the motivation on the cities comes up, and send them over to the front lines. We've got 5 mechanized in Mongolia still. So okay, well, great episode. Join me in the next episode where I'm going to be cooking on gas in Africa. I'll really get that rolling. And so it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from him.
See ya.
Over and out.